Hello and welcome to CKE 10,001's gaming channel. In this video we'll be looking at my Illya Berserker English deck profile post Heaven's Feel Volume 1. This deck build runs 18 level 0s, 9 level 1s, 7 level 2s, 8 level 3s, and 8 climax cards. First card we're going to take a look at is Mad Warrior's Howl Berserker. I'm running 4 copies. It has 2 effects. The first is continuous. If you do not have another character with Illya in its card name, this card cannot stand during your stand phase. The second is auto. When this card becomes reverse, put this card at the bottom of your deck. So I'm running 4 copies because this card needs to be in your clock to early play your level 3 at level 2. So that's why I'm running 4 copies. And the early play level 3 is the Illya card. We're going to take a closer look at that card later. And then the next 4 cards I'm running are Silver Thread Alchemy Elginliad Illya. It has 1 auto effect. When this card is placed on stage from your hand, you can discard a card. If you do, look at up to 4 cards from the top of your deck, choose up to 1 master character from among them, reveal it to your opponent, put it into your hand, and put the rest into the waiting room. So it's just a winter moments effect. So to help set up the waiting room or mill your deck if you're running low on climaxes, and try to get something more useful in your hand. And then the next card I'm running is the new Illya Brainstormer. I'm running 4 copies of it. One of many faces Illya, or Illya's Veil. Continuous. During your opponent's turn, all your other characters get 500 power. Second is activate Brainstorm, pay 1, rest 2 of your characters. Flip over 4 cards from the entire deck, put them in the waiting room. For each climax revealed, search your deck for up to 1 blue character or a character with Shiro in its card name. Reveal it to your opponent and put it into your hand. So I sent an email to Bushiroad. I've confirmed that Illya's Veil and Illya's count as the same cards in the card name, so these cards work with each other. And then the next card I'm running is Signal to Commence Battle Illya. It has 2 effects. The first is auto. When this card is placed on stage from your hand, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a master or servant, put it into your hand. Choose a card in your hand and put it into waiting room. So it's a filter. And then the second is when this card is placed on stage from your hand, you can pay 1 tick hit. If you do, draw a card. So the second effect can plus you, and the first effect is to filter. So 3 copies of that. And then I'm running 1 copy of the promo card Petite Shiro. It has 1 effect. It has continuous. If this card is in the middle position of your center stage, this card gets 1 level and 2,500 power. And then I'm running 2 copies of, try to focus in on that a bit, Unsettling Warning Illya's Veil. It has 2 effects. The first is during your opponent's turn, your other character in the middle position of your center stage gets 1,500 power. Second is auto. When this card is placed on stage from your hand, you may pay 1. If you do, search your deck for up to 1 Mad Warrior's Howl Berserker and put it on any position on your stage and shuffle your deck. So that calls that 0 out. And then at level 1, we're running 4 copies of the climax combo Snow Fairy Illya. When this card attacks, if a card named Official Contract is in your climax area and the number of other master or servant characters you have is 4 or more, you may draw a card. So it combos off a blue stock charge, and don't need to reverse plussing combo as long as you have a full board. So running this at 4 copies, and then I'm running 3 copies of Confronting a King Illya. It has 2 effects. The first is when this card is placed on stage from your hand, you can discard a card. If you do, search your deck for up to 1 character with Berserker in its card name, reveal it to your opponent, put it into your hand, and shuffle your deck. Second is when this card is frontal attacked, you may pay 2, return this card to your hand. If you do, choose up to 1 card named Strong-Willed Berserker in your hand and put it on this card's stage position as the defending character. So the first auto can tutor the Berserker level 2, and then the second auto can change into that level 2 Berserker card from your hand at level 1 when your opponent attacks you. So that can be kind of a surprise to them, and it's a pretty beefy card when you change into it. And then I'm running 2 copies of Tenacious Berserker. It has 2 effects. The first is continuous. If the character facing this card is cost 0 or lower, this card cannot become reversed. The second effect is when this card is placed on stage from your hand, if you do not have another one of many faces Ilya's Veil, rest this card. So you need to have a copy of the Brainstormer on the board, like that one, to play that card without any downsides. Then I'm running 3 copies of Strong-Willed Berserker. It has 1 continuous effect. This card gets 1000 power for each of your other cards in the back stage with Illya in its card name. And the Ilya's Veil cards count as Illya cards, according to Bushiroad's email to me. So that's 3 copies of the Strong-Willed Berserker level 2. And then I'm running 2 copies of A Battle of Legend Illya. It has 2 effects. The first is continuous. All your other Strong-Willed Berserkers get 1000 power. And the second effect is continuous assist. All your characters in front of this card gets X power. X equals to 500 multiplied that character's level. Then I have some one-ofs. I'm running 1 copy of one of the 3 great families Ilya's Veil. Continuous assist. All your low 3 or higher characters in this front of this card get 2000 power. And then the second effect is the climax swapping effect. You on play, discard a climax, pay 1, and then grab another climax in your waiting room. And then my other one of is the Fearless Smile Ilya's Veil. When this card becomes reversed, if the level of this card's battle opponent is higher than your opponent's level, you may put that character at the bottom of your opponent's deck. So it's an early play bottom decker. And I'm running 4 copies of the early play Mysterious Girl Ilya's Veil. It has 3 effects. The first is if Mad Warrior's Howl Berserker is in your clock, this gets -1 level from your hand. Second effect is continuous. This card gets 500 power for each of your other master or servant characters, and that's the 0 that need to be in your clock. And the third effect is when this card is placed on stage from your hand, you can discard a card. If you do, put the bottom card of your clock into your stock. So it heals from the bottom of your clock. That way it doesn't conflict with the first ability to early play. And then I'm running 4 copies of Relationship of Trust Illya and Berserker. It has 3 effects. The first is continuous. This card gets 1000 power for each of your other cards in the backstage with Illya and his card name. The second effect is when this card is placed on stage from your hand, draw up to 2 cards, choose a card in your hand, and put it into your waiting room. Third effect is when this card attacks, if a card named Encounter and Bond is in your climax area, put the top 5 cards of your deck into your waiting room, deal X damage to your opponent, and this card gets 2000 power until end of turn. X equals to the number of climax revealed among those cards that was milled. And then the last 8 cards are the climax cards. 4 copies of Encounter and Bond, which is for the level 3. And 4 copies of Official Contract, which is the blue stock charge for your level 1. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Check EncoreDecks.com and the link in the description below to see an overview of this deck build.